Is this scene in every Western? Hey there, welcome back to day number 2 of writing this novel and following me on this journey of daily writing. Today we pick up where we left off from yesterday in the middle of a very action oriented scene with our main character Mercer fleeing these unknown, at least at this time, unknown assailants. So initially, and still with the second day, still relying very heavily on the cliches and the conventions of what a Western is to write this story. So I'm relying pretty heavily on those, which is just fine. By relying on these things, I'm able to have content to be able to continue to write. And that's my goal. My goal isn't to create a perfect draft the first time around. It's not to be accurate in all of my details, especially in a first draft. The goal here is to get the words down, tell the story, get in front of my keyboard every day, and just write. And have fun doing it. Like that's half of this. Like if you don't enjoy the writing process, you're probably not going to be a writer for long. So this is supposed to be a fun thing. I know I'm enjoying it, even though right now it is a little familiar in the Western genre, which totally fine with. So here is the first part of our second day of writing. So there's that first portion, and there's a tactic and a technique that I really like for writing action sequences. When we write action, we think that we see in movies these big long scenes of what characters are going through, and we see all the action, and it's really exciting. How do we translate that kind of effect into writing, into prose? And what I like to do is work in basically mini scenes or beats. And what is the character's goal for this moment that he's in? Does he need to flee gunfire and find cover? Does he really want to find his hat and get his own gun? Does he want to shoot back at the bad guys? Like, what is happening in this particular moment? and you write that little mini section. And then once you finish that, there's going to be another problem or another goal for the characters to achieve. And so if you do this enough, you have a goal working to achieve it, whether that goal happens or not. But you have that sequence of goal, action, result, and just mini scenes. And then you do that again, and then you do that again, and then you're able to string together a pretty good action sequence that is paced well, because there's something to look forward to as the sequence develops. So I found that to be a great technique. I call it writing in beats. I've heard mini scenes before, pretty common technique. But if you're struggling to write action, think about that. Think about what is the immediate goal for this character, and then write that thing. And then what's the next immediate goal, and then write that thing. So that's a technique I like, and I would recommend. So well, let's get back to the second half of day 2. And there is the second part. That's the entirety of the second day's worth of writing. And our line of the day that from that work that we just produced is pistol ready. He waited for the men to come into the open space. So, like, very tense moment of like what's going to happen. Is he going to shoot these people, or is what's going on here? It's kind of unavoidable in westerns that there is this action that involves weapons and things like that. Kind of unavoidable, at least when you're starting in this very cliched position. So that's the line of the day. So as far as wrapping up and my thoughts on day 2, I still don't have a good idea who these characters are. I'm getting to know them a little bit better. Like, I have an idea of what I want to start with, but I'm still just letting them take whatever actions they're going to take. And as I write more, I will want to do more with them, or they will tell me what they want to do. And then I'll be able to develop those things. So it's still hard. Day 2, about 2,000 words, and it's not quite enough time to get to know somebody. So I'm going to continue to rely on what I think in the Western genre, but eventually the story will break free of a lot of those conventions, and it will become a very unique story. So very much looking forward to where this is going and seeing what day 3 involves. And I can't wait to get started on it. So tomorrow, we're going to dive into this narrative further and see what happens to these characters. If you're interested in following the course that I'm using here, I provide a link below to N90 Novel Roadmap AI Edition. Check it out, and maybe I'll see you in class. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.